What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen, and this is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we're talking about PlayStation Studios' new film, Gran Turismo, based on a true story. And let me tell you, anytime a movie's based on a true story, I'm very, very intrigued. I love based on true story movies. Shout out to my mother-in-law. I am pretty excited to talk about this movie, so let's jump on in. All right, so Gran Turismo is about Jan Mardenborough, who was a real-life race car driver. And it is truly based on a true story about the Gran Turismo Academy that was created to try and find gamers who could become racers. I mean, that's an incredible premise, and the fact that it's real life is awesome. So I was totally intrigued by this movie. Also, the fact that it was directed by Niell Blomkamp. The guy brought us District 9. He's done some awesome stuff. He's done some questionable things as well. But, he knows how to direct a movie. He knows how to entertain. And so I had a feeling this was going to be a lot of fun, and I wasn't wrong. So we follow Jan Mardenborough. He competes in GT Academy, and we get to watch his journey into becoming a professional race car driver, and it is truly a blast. Let's jump into the things that I liked. So overall, the film is super, super fun and entertaining. The movie is about dreams. And I love movies about achieving your dreams and who is there to root you on and what are the obstacles you have to overcome to achieve those dreams. Those are the best movies. They feel great because we all have dreams and we all want to achieve those dreams. Let's talk about the cast. We've got David Harbour, Orlando Bloom, Archie Madekwe. Archie is from Voyagers. That was kind of what his last big thing was. And it's a really big step up for him. And honestly, Djimon Hounsou, man, this guy, number one, the guy doesn't age. He was in Blood Diamond. He looks the same. He looks the same as Blood Diamond and Gladiator. This guy does not age, first of all. Second of all, he is so good. He needed to be in the movie more. The scenes with him were so good. And he plays Jan's dad. And the arc of that father character is so important to today. And I just loved watching the arc of the father in this movie, just being a father myself. And so Djimon, so good. I loved his performance. So the cinematography, it's super dynamic and fast. There's some really great shots. I loved that they chose to do a lot of drone shots in this movie. It kind of is a great mix of feeling close to everything, but also getting to see everything at the same time. The VFX was amazing. They did some really creative things, meshing video game and movie. And video game movies, they're not always the best. They don't have a great track record, let's be completely honest. And I would say this movie did it the way that it should be done. They took the best elements of the games, the sound design, and a few of the elements of the video design of the game, and they incorporated it into the movie in such a good way. It was fairly seamless and really cool. The sound design of this thing is insane. If you love cars, all of the sounds they incorporate in this, like the shifting of the gears and the carbs exploding, it's like all of this stuff going on, the loud sound of the car flying by at 280 miles an hour. You feel it in the theater, and that's why movies exist, guys. They exist for those moments, those Maverick moments, this Gran Turismo moments where you feel the car, you feel the jet, fly through the theater. It's incredible. It's just, there's nothing like it, guys, other than experiencing the real thing. So let's just talk about the things I didn't like. It's not a lot. There's not really a lot I didn't like about this movie. But I will say the one thing that was fairly glaring is the movie starts really slow. And the movie, I feel like they started in the wrong place with the wrong idea. We start in the movie following Orlando Bloom, who's a marketing executive, and it almost feels like the whole pitch of the movie is we're doing this to sell cars, okay? And even if that is the true story in real life, you don't need to show that. It feels cheap, like when you show that in the beginning of the movie, and it just doesn't land with the emotional arc of the entire movie. The other thing really that kind of was fairly evident throughout the beginning of the film, not really in the end of the film, was the writing was a bit cheesy in the beginning, a little clunky. It just didn't flow right. There were some moments between David Harbour's character and Orlando Bloom that just felt a little bit like they had to say this line to make the plot make sense. And I would argue that they didn't need those lines, and that it kind of was like, yeah, I mean, it felt cheesy and it felt over delivered. Like they were like, oh, we gotta state the theme. A lot of times in movies, early on in the film, you want to state the theme of the film through either visual representation or through dialogue, but you want to do it in a really subtle way. You don't want to like say, this is the theme of the movie, which they kind of did in this movie, which I was a little bit like, meh. Let's talk about ratings. So from an entertainment perspective, guys, this movie is extremely entertaining. I mean, I was totally bought into the characters. I was bought into the plot, the energy, everything was clicking for me. So a solid 9 out of 10 for entertainment for me. From a critic standpoint, I mean, there's some little bumps. The overly long really kind of hurts it because I think from a critical rating, you felt that a little bit. It lagged in the beginning and in the middle just a bit. And there's a couple storylines that didn't really need to be included. The whole romance arc of the film didn't need to be included. I get why they did it, but it didn't need to be in there. And so that kind of drug it down, I thought, a little bit. So from a critic's rating, 7 out of 10. It was still very well done. And so averaged out 8 out of 10 for Gran Turismo. So let's talk about badges. From a badge standpoint, guys, this is an easy popcorn bucket, okay? Like, these are the movies you want to go see in theaters, I promise you. Overall, there's a few little bits of language, but this is totally a movie you can take your family to. It is the feel-good movie of the year right now. If you like this video, drop a like, drop a subscribe, hit that notification bell. Would love to have you guys along this journey with me. And until next time, peace out.